Hi, everyone. Thanks for being with us tonight. I just want to let you all know that we are recording this session, so it's something that you can access once the meeting has concluded, and we'll make sure that you have the access to review it in the future.
Wonderful. So my name is Greg Canzio. I'll talk a little bit more about myself in a little bit, but today the goal of today's meeting is to talk about the Office of Student Advising and Success, all the things we do, and all the wonderful people that run it. Thank you for everybody for coming. Like as Christina said, we are recording this, so this is definitely something you want to, we can send out and we can keep, so people can have this as a reference. Also, we do have a chat feature, so if there's any questions that do come up, we'll answer them at the end if they aren't already answered during the session, but we'll answer it after we're all done with our presentation. I think we're next to the next slide, Christina. A lot of moving hands today. So we're going to introduce ourselves, and Jen, if you want to go first.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer McLaughlin. I'm the Executive Director of Student Advising and Success, and I'm excited to welcome you all this evening so that you can get to know our office a little bit better, answer questions that you might have about the kind of academic supports that we provide to your incoming students, see if there's any questions that you have about what happens between now and the beginning of the semester, and again, introduce you to the wonderful people that work in our office.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Sorrentino. I am the Assistant Director of the Student Advising and Success Office, and I'm happy to meet with you all tonight.
As I mentioned before, my name is Greg Canzio. I'm a Student Success Coordinator. We'll go through a bit what that looks like, but nice to meet everybody today.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Gomez. I am also a Student Success Coordinator, and welcome. We're so excited to have you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Commander. I am the part-time and transfer student advisor, but I do also work with incoming students to help with student success, time management, so some things that we'll talk about, but happy to be here.
And Crystal Lewis, who is not here today, but you can see her picture. She's our office administrative assistant. So a lot of times if you call Student Advising Success, you get Crystal, who is amazing and so helpful. So now you kind of have like a face to that name as well. And you can reach out to us at studentsuccess@sacredheart.edu. And our location is the Martiri Building in the suite E244. That's across from the main campus. And once you're in the building, we're across from Einstein Bagels. But on the second floor, all your students will definitely very fast know where Einstein's is. So we're across from that, but on the second floor. All set, Christina. Perfect. So what do we do, right? We introduced ourselves. Now you know our faces. What do we provide? So we help with anything from time management and organizational skills. I know sometimes as an incoming freshman, just kind of learning the nuances of Sacred Heart, but also realizing that some of those time management and organizational skills from high school might be a little bit different, might transfer over a little bit differently in college. So we're going to hear the help with that. Study skills and test taking strategies, very similar. Some of the things that in high school may work, and some things may need some fine tuning, or they might learn some stuff that they've never even thought of before. We're here to help with that. Stress reduction techniques. We do have a wellness center, so anything that does seem a little bit more urgent and needs maybe some professional assistance, we do have that. But sometimes things might just be a bad day or a bad week, and they just want to talk to someone. Come to us. We can kind of go through it and maybe talk about like what we did when we were in college. Tutorials on how to use SPA. So that's our student planning and advising. That's where our student schedules live. That's where they're going to register for classes for the next 7 semesters they're here. But in addition to that, we're also here to kind of help navigate them through, Sacred Heart specific platforms and technologies. We talk about university policies and procedures, make it make sense. Kind of, sometimes it's a lot of writing when they look at the student handbook. We'll kind of be able to kind of go through that writing and, like I said, make it make sense. Anything from things that are not as great as like something like an early warning or probation, but also we can talk about things like what is a dean's list? How do you get on the dean's list? How do you get towards your honors? All those fun things as well. General academic support. I feel like a lot of times we wear mini caps. One dad a few years ago said we're kind of like Shugel, which I really love. I steal it all the time from him. Um, and also referrals to various supports on campus. Sometimes there's going to be other departments on campus that may have the answer or actually can resolve the situation, but it can be a little intimidating sometimes for a student to go and reach out. Come to us. We're kind of like that base, and we can kind of help at least start those conversations with those other departments. And then on the My Shoe page, your students can access Blackboard, and on their Blackboard site, we did create advising in success group. So for incoming students group, so that can be found on their Blackboard. We're going to show you at the end of this kind of how to access that. Um, but students and families can access this resource by logging into their My Shoe Play page and click an institution page. But again, we're going to hopefully be able to kind of go through that today.
I'm going to jump in really quick, Greg.
Sure.
Again, I'm Christina. I am in charge of the maneuvering of the computer right now, so I will walk through step by step on how to access that. One thing that I need you all to know is you do need to have your students' credentials in order to access this Blackboard page. Everything is provided to them using that username and password. So there are resources for both you and your student, but you will need those credentials in order to access the page itself.
Perfect. And just for anybody who came in maybe a little bit late, this is going to be recorded. So this is going to be a resource you can use later on. And also, if you came a little late and didn't hear the part about, we do have a chat. So if there's any questions, you can certainly type now. We'll answer them later. Or obviously, we have the student success at sacredheart.edu. More than happy to also reach us there. And then the one form that we do want to show is for your students especially. So if you want to let them know that this form exists, this is a fall 2024 schedule request form. So when they access this QR code, this is where it'll take them to fill out the form. So essentially, incoming students can make a request to change their schedule, but very limited to a certain number of reasons. It can't just be like, I don't like that class. They don't know actually if they like that class or not, right? They haven't taken that class, but it's more about things like, do you want athletic practice conflict? We're human. Sometimes we make mistakes when we do make these schedules. Um, so that's definitely, we don't want them to be in class when they have practice. If your student is a commuter, that's something that we definitely want to, we always keep in mind. And if they have back-to-back classes that are not in the same area, so West Campus to main campus sometimes can be a travel. It's definitely something that students do get very familiar with very fast. It's something that they end up but that first, month or even semester, we would definitely want to make sure that we're scheduling them where they actually have time to get to their class.
I just want to jump in here if that's okay, because I just had a question that we'll get to later. There are a couple of the other reasons that students were told during orientation that they might need to change their schedule. Number one, if you're changing your major, if your student decides between now and the first week of class that they no longer want to continue in the major they thought they wanted to, then they should definitely use this form to ask us to change their major, and also that probably will require us to change their schedule. If they're changing their major within the College of Business, for the business majors, not the tech majors, we probably don't have to need to change their schedule, but we would have to change their major so they get the right academic advisor. Another reason might be if a student decides to add a second major. So they came in as a sports communications major and they want to add sports management as a second major. That would be another reason to use the form. And then someone just asked about AP and college credits. If you send an email to Student Success, or when Christina shows you the information, how to access Blackboard and what kind of information you can find on our organization, that will explain more about AP credits. We know that the credits, the scores were just sent out, so you should all be receiving them this week. We will get those scores as long as you have sent the report to Sacred Heart. So you need to go to College Board, order the report, and have it sent to Sacred Heart. It makes its way to our office, and then we spend the last 2 weeks in July changing schedules if we need to. You can fill out the form for that reason. You do not have to fill out that form. As long as you have sent your scores to Sacred Heart, they will get to us and we will make the change if necessary. So you don't have to fill out the form about AP credits at this point in time, because we haven't made any changes yet, because we haven't gotten the official scores yet. So those are two big reasons why we might need to change it. If you have college credits coming in, again, official transcripts from the university or college issuing the credits, not your high school transcript. That does not provide us with the information that we need to give you the transfer credits. All of this information is available on the Blackboard site. It's also explained in the email reply. And at the end, when we go through questions, we're happy to provide you with more information.
Okay, so
Thanks,
bear
Jen.
with me now while I try to navigate to the Blackboard page. So 1 second. Going to 1 second.
And Kristen also just put in our emails. If any questions pertaining maybe to like your student that you want to just kind of email us directly about, certainly that's where you can go.
Okay, so the easiest way for students and families to access Blackboard is through My Shoe. So you would just go to the Sacred Heart landing page, and you're going to see down here that My Shoe is one of the last buttons that you can click. So you would click on there, and this is where you would log in with the Sacred Heart username and password. Oh, great. Well, let's see. Perfect. Okay. So this is where all the important links are. Learning how to navigate through this page is also in the Blackboard page that we've created. So you want to have your student go over to the organizations tab right here. And I have starred mine so that it is one of the first that appear, but it is called Advising and Success for Incoming Student Groups. You would click on that. And this has been created by our office and provides a lot of great information for both students and parents to kind of get prepared for the fall semester and beyond. Some of the information that we provided at orientation that you might have heard from us has been provided here. Student support resources. This has links to different areas on our website. Our office, the tutoring portal, a fact sheet that we've created, major check sheet, which is really important if your student is, has decided to declare a specific major. You can access this link and it will take you to all of the required courses in order to get that degree. Different PowerPoints, lingo that they might want to know, test prep, time management, note taking, all really valuable resources for them. This one is for parents and families specifically. It's a fact sheet, and then our walk-in hours that we are having throughout the month of July on Thursdays from 1 to 3. So that is all there. Definitely come and see us if you are in the area, and, get some FaceTime and see where we're located so that your, students really know where to access us once they're here. And then technology overview and support student planning and advising, navigating my SHU, which was what I was talking about before, Blackboard, SHU email, all those things. So this is a very valuable resource that can be very beneficial for incoming students. So please, please, please encourage them to access this page.
Christina, can I put Kristen on the spot for a minute?
Yes.
Kristen, you okay with me doing that? Can you go back to the Blackboard
yes.
site?
Yes, I can.
And can you go to the College Lingo page? Because I'd like Kristen to explain that to our families,
Yes.
to explain what she put together, because we're very excited about this new addition to the information that we've provided to all of you.
Yes. So we spent some time, there's kind of like this whole, it's like
Chris,
a
where did
hidden
I put it? I'm
curriculum.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
That's good.
I think it's
Which,
under student resources, right?
Right, that's where I thought it
Yep.
was.
Right, there it is. Student advising and
Oh,
success.
right here.
Yep.
Okay, I apologize. I'm sorry.
So we put this guide together because there's kind of like a language to college. And so there's a lot of terms and acronyms. We love an acronym at SHU. SHU. So we wanted to put something together that kind of went through some of these common terms and things that your student will be hearing and you will also be hearing kind of along the way as a resource to be able to help, because sometimes it feels like it's another language. And so we wanted students to all kind of be on the same level and playing field and have that information. So we spent a lot of time kind of thinking about like, what are a lot of terms that we throw around or that students are going to hear, you know, what are office hours? Like my professor's having office hours, like what is that? What are the summer terms? You know, just different things like that, like information that both students and also parents, it would be helpful to know some of this information. So we put it together as a way to be able to share that information. Some of it is just sort of like general in terms of college, and then some things are specific to Sacred Heart. So that's available in there. We encourage you to look over it with your student, reach out to us with any questions, but we really just kind of wanted to provide a little cheat sheet for your students also coming in to be able to have this information and understand, you know, what's the difference between tutoring and office hours, or, you know, what's an RSA. Because yeah, again, we love an acronym here at Sacred Heart. And so at some point, I'm sure your student will be talking to you about something. You're like, I have no idea what that is. And so they can explain it to you, hopefully, or, you know, you can also refer to this sheet.
Thanks, Kristen.
So I think now we can take questions. Are there any questions that anybody has? Oh, okay, we answered that. Just a reminder again, we are having office hours throughout the month of July. It's for the next 3 Thursdays from 1 to 3. If you are in the area and you really want to get to know the campus and have your student know where we're located and maybe really ask some questions that you're wondering, please come and see us. Drop in. You don't need an appointment. We will be here. You will see all of us. But if you are unavailable, you know, the next couple weeks, we are still available by email, by telephone, you know, and please encourage your students to also reach out to us. We want to be as available as possible to, you know, kind of assist in any anxieties that they might be feeling, you know, and be those point people for them to kind of have a contact once they're here and feel like they already know somebody on campus and have FaceTime with people that they're familiar with. So yeah, encourage them, please. We are happy to assist in any way that we can.
A lot of what we showed you tonight, we presented to the students at orientation. So this also gives families an opportunity to see some of the things that they heard about while you were separated at orientation. So if they refer to something that Greg talked about during that session, a lot of that information is on the Blackboard site. So that's a really great place to start if you're not sure about something. And And you can always use the student success at sacredheart.edu email. That's the best way to get in touch with us because we all have access to that email. And even if we're not the office that can help answer your questions, what we are really good at too is making sure that we connect you with the person who can. Because I know that one of the things, if Crystal were here, she would say when she talks to families on the phone is that sometimes you get frustrated when you can't find the right person to answer your question. And so we, as an office, are always happy to be those people who, again, may not be able to tell you exactly what the answer is to your question about financial aid, but to be able to connect you with the person at financial aid who will be able to get you that answer. Maybe not right away. You have to give them some time. We have over 2,000 new students entering the university in the fall, both first year students and transfer students. We're so excited to have you guys come, but it does take a little bit of time. But again, there's so many people who are here to help you, and you can kind of think of us as the first stop to finding out who those people are. And that goes not just for families, but for students too. I know there are probably some students who are part of this group tonight. You should feel free, not just now, right? Not just over the summer, but when you get here in the fall, that Blackboard page isn't going away. You've had access to it since June, and you will continue to have access to it all year. So for the full academic year, you're going to have access to all that information. So if something comes up and you just can't figure out how to find the answer to your question, go to the Blackboard site and search through it, look for student resources, send an email to Student Success, come by our office on the second floor of Martiri, and there will always be somebody there during the working hours to help you, to talk to you, to connect you with the right person, to help support you in ways that you might not even be thinking about at this point because most of you just graduated from high school and now you're just enjoying your summer and you're going to graduation parties and maybe you're going on vacation with your family. So you're not really thinking about it right now. And that's okay. You've got time. We want you to enjoy your summer. We want your families to enjoy their summer. When you get here, don't forget that Blackboard site can provide you with a lot of information and a lot of support.
Thanks, Jen.
And kind of going off of that, we'll also be hosting some events like right at the beginning of the semester. So we can share that information as well. But, please encourage your students. We're going to have like an open house. It's going to be part of the 51st Days events. It's a very low stake way for them to be able to stop by, get to know all of us. We usually have like good snacks. And a lot of people sort of just can drop in, meet us, and that sort of way. So we'll have lots of events like that where we usually do like a de-stress event. We have an event for exploratory students, caffeine and careers, where we're going to be having coffee and including career as well. So it's a way for students to be able to connect with both offices at the same time. So a lot of these events are going to be part of 51st Days, and we kind of already have them planned, and we like to do those in the beginning of the semester. So students can get to know us, we can see them around the office. We have lots of tables and space in the office. We love to have students in here working. They usually are, and so it's a nice way for students to be able to come in and meet us and not feel intimidated or like they need to have an appointment or anything like that, and just see our faces and meet us and just say hi.
Thanks. If there are no questions, we can end the session here. Like I said, this has been recorded, so you will be able to have access in the future. And we are available throughout the summer. We're here throughout the week. Please feel free to contact us, come and see us. And hopefully some of you plan to attend next Tuesday's Zoom. We are talking about how families can advocate for their student and how we can kind of facilitate in that process and what that looks like here at Sacred Heart. But if you need anything before then, please feel free to reach out. we're gonna hang for a minute, yeah, in case,
I'm sorry to interrupt. There is a question, but I did ask if you could just send it in the chat because I'm not sure if if everyone has access to being able to ask a question out loud. Is that correct, Christina?
yeah, you have to
Yeah,
chat
so we
it so
need to
that we
send
can
it in
answer it
in
and
the chat.
everybody can hear it.
Yes, there should be a map to the academic building, a university map.
Yeah, if you Google like campus map Sacred Heart, it should come up.
I'm gonna see if I can find that. So just give me a second, and then Christina, if you want to answer Amy G's question.
Hold on one second. Oh, okay, for next week's presentation, I can send you all the information about next week. Everybody that's here, I will send the link to next week's presentation where you can register if you would like to attend.
Just give me 1 minute, and I'm going to put the link for the map from the website in the chat.
Okay. For the abbreviations on student schedules, if they have questions on that, have them reach out to us. We're happy to assist them. It's probably easier to kind of go through with them one-on-one on what that looks like and what they mean, because that's definitely information they're going to need to know moving forward and something to kind of alleviate any anxieties that they have. Pretty much. I'm sorry, Jen, with the exception of some of our business classes for our business students, but I feel like management is still on main campus. Students are really in the two main academic buildings, at least for the first semester, which is either the main academic building or Martiri. So they're very easy to access, and they're easy for students to kind of get to if they have back-to-back classes. It's no more than like, let's say like an 8-minute walk at the absolute most. But we'll kind of work with them on what that looks like. Some of their schedules might say TBD as well because it hasn't been assigned yet. So that's something we can work with them on as well.
There are students in the College of Business, especially if your student is a tech major, computer science, cybersecurity, things like that. Your computer science class is going to be on West Campus, and everyone is registered for a 1 credit it's called CSE 125 course as well, also on West Campus, which is a great opportunity for students to be able to start connecting with the tech department because that's where they live on West Campus. So most of their other classes will be in Martiri and main campus, as Christina said. But for some students, they might have a class on West if they're a tech major, and there might be some students who are in exercise science or health science who might have one class in the CHI, the Center for Health Education, up down the street on Park Avenue. The shuttles are available. Students take the shuttles. They get to class. They need to give themselves time to get to get on the shuttle and to get to class on time, which can sometimes be hard for them, but these are new challenges. We have scheduled your student in a way that they would have enough time in between to get from one campus to another. So we wouldn't give a student a back-to-back class on West Campus and then the next class 15 minutes later is at Martiri, because that actually won't work. They won't get there on time. That was one of the reasons on the list that you might need your schedule changed. So if you have a student who sees a 15-minute travel from West to Martiri, please let us know because that was something we would want to fix. But if you're walking from Martiri, when your 11 o'clock class ends at 12:15, and then you have a 12:30 class on main campus in either the HC wing, which stands for humanities, or you're in the SC wing, which stands for science, you will have time. If you have a disability that might make it difficult for you to get to a class within that 15-minute period, please let us know. And we can work with the Office of Student Accessibility to make sure that we can accommodate those needs. But generally speaking, I do it. I walk from Rotary to get to the main academic building in 15 minutes to teach a class. So if I can do it, most of you will be able to do that as well.
Any other questions?
Liz, you're muted. It sounds
Yeah.
like you wanted to say something.
So I think Angela Kavari raised her hand. I was able to unmute her mic if she wants to ask a specific question. You're welcome to.
Okay, well, we'll hang out for a little bit. If anybody else has any questions that they want to ask. Otherwise, I will make sure to send you all the information for next week. We hope that you attend if you haven't signed up yet. And please reach out to us, send your students to us. Let us be, a resource for everyone before you guys start, and then before your students start, and once they're here on campus. But thank you so much. It's been so nice, meeting with you guys tonight, and have a great rest of your night.
Bye, everyone.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys
Oh,
hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
I was having a little bit of a technical difficulty. I apologize.
That's okay.
So, my daughter attended an AP course. I don't know who to contact in the college that she did the course with to get that information. Would you guys have any recommendations on a department that I can contact?
So I think that you sent an email, and I think in my response, maybe I hope I was clear. If I'm not, I'm going to hopefully be clear now. So please ask. When your student has earned college credit as a high school student, so basically dual enrollment. So in Connecticut, if you're from Connecticut, you might do an ECE class through UConn. The credit that the student earned comes from UConn. So all you need to do for whatever the university is, with Seton Hall or Westchester Community College or Iona or those St. John's, these are schools we see a lot, is go to the website of that college or university and go to the registrar's website, right? You can search registrar, and what you should see is requested transcript. You click on request a transcript and order the transcript through that way. There's usually a phone number too, so sometimes it can be easier if you're not 100% sure how to do it. Just call the registrar's office and say you need help ordering a transcript. It's going to have to come from your student because it's your student's academic record. So you're not going to be able to make the request without your student. But that it absolutely can be done. That's the best way to do it. It's always going to be through the registrar's office at the school that's issuing the credit. If it was an AP course and your student took the AP exam, then all she needs to do, or he needs to do, is go online to College Board. And once you get to the College Board, you can order your AP scores sent to Sacred Heart. So whether it's a transcript that you're ordering from a registrar or AP scores from the College Board, there's usually a drop down and it asks you where you want it sent. You just have it sent to Sacred Heart University. I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you so much. I've been racking my brain
You're
on this, and I'm like, who do I call? What do I do? So I'm glad that I
Yes. Good.
asked.
I'm glad.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amy G, I see you also raised your hand. I was able to unmute you if you want to go ahead and ask a question.
Also, if, feel free to email studentsuccess@sacredheart.edu. If you are having technical issues, Amy, I see that you messaged. Just chat us if that's the easiest. Those pop up right away. But yes, if you have a question and you are having technical issues, please email us. We check it pretty regularly because we all have access. It's also where we pretty much tell everybody to reach out to us. So we go through it a lot. Right. Okay.
I think you
A
muted,
couple
Jen.
of things. If you have questions about your son's specific schedule, You should email studentsuccess@sacredheart.edu with your question, but please make sure that you copy your son on the email. His schedule is now part of his academic record. So we need to make sure that he's basically giving you permission to talk to us about his academic records. So just make sure that he's copied on that email. He knows you're going to be asking these questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. Thanks.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, good question. How do you find out who your academic advisor is? So right now, students are not assigned academic advisors. Our office really works with students to kind of, answer any questions that they may have, whether it be major related, course related, plans for the future once they're here, and so on and so forth. They will have a chance to meet their academic advisors once they are here on campus, and they will be assigned to them that first weekend that they're here, welcome weekend. So once that happens and that they're assigned, they can access their information on student planning and advising. There's an advising tab that gives the student their advisor's name. It's somebody that is within their declared major, so that hopefully they will have their advisor in future courses and be seeing them regularly so they can really connect and create a relationship. So not only will they be their academic advisor, but they will also be a professor in some of their courses. But before that happens, we work with all students at Sacred Heart, regardless of their intended major. So any advising questions that they may have right now, please, send them to us.
Christina is totally right. The best person for the people for your students to contact right now is our office. Other academic advisors. So we support academic advising across the university. Each college has its own model of academic advising. So part of it depends, and this is in Kristen's college lingo pamphlet as well, right? We have different colleges on campus. So we have the Welch College of Business and Technology, the College of Arts and Sciences, the Farrington College of Education, the Davis College of Nursing, and the College of Health Professions. And then the major falls within a particular college. So each college does advising a little bit differently. The College of Nursing has actually already assigned their academic advisors to their students. And so some students have been reaching out to their academic advisors in the College of Nursing. The other colleges will be assigning advisors later this summer. The goal to make sure that everybody has their academic advisor by the time you arrive in August. But your student may get an email from their academic advisor sooner than that, right? So the College of Business may be able to connect with their academic advisees sooner than August, but Christina's right. They're going to meet them during welcome weekend, and then for the most part, they're going to want to meet them in person once they're here on campus beginning in the first week of the semester. So they should definitely be checking their Sacred Heart emails, because none of their academic advisors are going to send any information to them through their personal emails, because their advisors don't have access to their personal emails. So we've been trying to encourage students, as they're reaching out to us, using their personal emails, to start using their Sacred Heart emails. If they've requested a schedule change, they'll be notified about those changes through their Sacred Heart email. So it's really important for them to start to get used to checking that email regularly. And that's, again, how they're going to hear from their academic advisor when they hear from them the first time. So just to make sure that they keep that in mind. And then, as Christina said, once their advisors are assigned, when they log into student planning and advising, not only can they see their schedules there, they're also going to be able to see the name of their academic advisor and the email address to be able to reach out to those advisors.
Thank you, Jen. There was another question about next week's session. If you are unable to attend, that's totally fine. It will be recorded just like this one, and it will be sent to anybody that has signed up. So make sure that you at least sign up for the advocating session so that you get that information as well. And I will send everybody this recording as well as the information for next week's once we have all of it. So if there are no other questions, I thank you again for coming tonight and hopefully see you next week. Oh, great. I'm glad. And please feel free to reach out to us whenever you need anything. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.